The night has fallen. Welcome to the world of edutales for kids. Tonight, our story will take us to a faraway magical land where there is a beautiful enchanted forest called the Whispering Wind Woods. Deep in that forest stands something truly extraordinary, a giant ancient clock. Its frame spun from silver moonlight, and its face made of crystal so clear it reflects the stars. Its hands are woven from shimmering stardust, glowing softly as they move. People call it the Four Seasons Clock, the clock of the seasons. But this clock isn't just for telling time. Every tick-tock is like the heartbeat of the earth itself. It keeps the seasons moving in harmony. Warm spring, dazzling summer, gentle autumn, and peaceful winter. The guardians of this clock are 12 beautiful fairies, each one representing a month of the year. Holding a precious gemstone born from the heart of their own season, the shining birthstones. Each fairy has her own personality, and each stone glows in its own special way. They live happily by the clock, taking care of the world together. But one day, a strange, icy wind blew through the forest, so cold it made the trees shiver. It wasn't autumn's breeze, and it wasn't winter's breath. It was a wild, eerie wind, carrying a strange, grayish haze, and it rushed straight into the Four Seasons clock. Boom! All the hands of the clock shook, groaned, and then stopped. Time froze, and just like that, everything went wrong. Oh, it was chaos! Pure white snowflakes that only belonged to winter began falling right in the middle of buzzing summer cicadas. The bright yellow sunflowers, just about to bloom, suddenly closed up, shivering under the snow. And the happy pumpkins of autumn? Oh no, they froze solid, looking like little orange snowballs. The 12 fairies who had been dancing around the clock were swept away by the strange wind, scattered to every corner of the great forest. And with the clock stopped, their powers grew weak. The glow of their birthstones faded, now just a dim, flickering light. Somewhere in a quiet corner of the forest, a tiny fairy slowly woke up. She was Garnet, the fairy of January. Oh, my head, what just happened? Wait, is that snow? But it's not my snow. My snow is cheerful. This one feels so cold and scary. She looked down at the deep red garnet stone on her hand. It glowed just faintly, like a lonely candle in the winter night. I must find my sisters, quickly! I'm the eldest fairy. I have to be brave. And so, with all the courage in her little heart, the January fairy set out. She was the first to wake up, and she knew she had to do something. After searching for a while, Garnet heard quiet sobbing coming from a frozen rose bush. Is someone there? A tiny voice whispered, Who's that? I'm Amethyst, the fairy of February. I'm so scared. Everything feels so strange. I can't think straight. Garnet quickly comforted her. Don't be scared. It's me, Garnet. We need to find everyone else. Use your cleverness, Amethyst. You're the wisest of us all. February Fairy took a deep breath. Yes, you're right. I think the clock has stopped. We have to find all the others and bring them back to their places. Each of our stones will help restart the clock hands. The two fairies held hands and ventured deeper into the forest. They found Aquamarine, the fairy of March, gently trying to calm down a little squirrel shivering from the cold. Then they found Diamond, the fairy of April, carefully brushing snow off a leaf, trying to bring back its sparkle. And so their journey continued. Every fairy they found added her own special gift and strength to the group. They found Emerald, the fairy of May, trying to comfort a tiny sapling that was drooping sadly. Pearl, the fairy of June, was busy arranging white pebbles to spell out a little SOS message. Ruby, the fiery fairy of July, was hopping up and down, trying to warm herself. And Peridot, the fairy of August, was chatting with a ladybug, asking if it knew what had happened. Finally, after many challenges, they gathered all 12 fairies under the great tree, where the Four Seasons clock stood still and silent. Sapphire, the fairy of September, spoke first. "We've found each other again, but what now? The clock is huge, and our powers are so small." Opal, the fairy of October, quickly came up with an idea. "I know! We can't fix it alone, but together we just might. Let's each return to the place of our month on the clock. Use the power of your stone to wake up the clock hands." Everyone agreed. One by one, each fairy ran to her spot on the giant clock. Garnet stood proudly at the number 1. "I, Garnet, with the power of courage, will wake the fresh, pure winter." Her deep red stone glowed brightly, sending a warm beam of light into the January hand. Tick-tock! The hand trembled and moved just a tiny bit. "And I, Amethyst, at number 2 with the power of wisdom, will light up the dark winter nights." The purple beam shot into the February hand. Tick-tock! It moved a little more. And then, one by one, each fairy called on her special power. Aquamarine of March, with the power of gentleness, melted the thin frost so the first green sprouts could peek through the earth. Diamond of April, with the power of purity, called down spring rain to wash away the last dust of winter, making the world fresh again. Emerald of May, with the power of growth, made flowers bloom wherever she stepped, filling the fields with green. Pearl of June, with the power of joy, brought dazzling summer days, with bright blue skies and singing cicadas. Ruby of July, with the power of passion, shone with heat and light, turning summer into a blazing, lively festival. Peridot of August, with the power of harmony, softened the blazing sun, making the afternoons calm and preparing the world for change. Sapphire of September, with the power of wisdom, gently called autumn, blowing a cool breeze that turned the leaves red and gold. Opal of October, with the power of creativity, painted the forest in brilliant orange, yellow and red like a glowing masterpiece. Topaz of November, with the power of transition, brought cool winds that carried the world from fiery autumn into quiet winter. Turquoise of December, with the power of peace, wrapped the world in a soft white blanket, letting it rest in a calm winter's sleep. Each clock hand moved a little more, but still, the clock didn't start. Opal cried out, "It's not enough! We must do it together. We must dance! A dance of 12 moons." The 12 fairies understood. They held hands, forming a dazzling circle of colors around the clock. Then they began to dance. It wasn't a rehearsed dance, but the most natural movement straight from their hearts. All their personalities, all their colors, all their powers blended together, forming a breathtaking rainbow beam of light. The beam struck the center of the clock, and boing! The clock rang with a clear, bright chime. All the hands moved at once. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Oh, what a wonderful sound! At once, the cold snow stopped falling. Warm summer sunlight shone down, melting the last bits of ice. The sunflowers lifted their golden faces, and the pumpkins turned back into happy autumn lanterns. Everything was back in rhythm again. The 12 fairies stopped dancing, smiling at one another with joy. Their stones now glowed brighter than ever. And so, the love, strength, and harmony of the 12 fairies restored the rhythm of nature. Do you know what the most magical thing was? None of them could have done this alone. It was their differences, working together, that created the great power to heal the world. Each of us is special in our own way, and when we unite, respect, and care for one another, there's nothing we can't do. Now night has fallen, and the 12 fairies have curled up to sleep, next to the 4 seasons clock, ticking peacefully once again. Close your eyes now, little one. Sleep well, and may your dreams be colorful and magical, just like the fairy story. Good night.